Okay, so I made up a mock activity of the one that you're going to do, so I wouldn't be using the same one, but so I could give you an idea of how you're supposed to do this. Now, I have split my screen, and I want you to notice that I have the debit card practice activity over here. Remember, yours is called Maddy's first debit card. And then I have my spreadsheet over here. So I need to change this to August because I changed mine August, but yours will be January. Yours will be fine how it is. Okay, so I want you to look over here at your debit card practice activity. And this is a disclaimer. I totally made this up. I don't get $50 every month to spend in my classroom. I wish I did, but I don't. But I just made this little story up so I could help you figure out how to do this. So I want you to notice it says Miss G gets a prepaid debit card to use for monthly school expenses. Each month she receives a $50 deposit. So each month they give me $50. The balance can go in the negative, but the bank charges her $10 each time it goes in the negative. So if I go in the negative, that means they charge me $10 more. So that's a negative 10. And right here it says Miss G's monthly expenses. So that means each month I'm going to be spending $10 on expo markers each month. So we're going to start over here, and I just put the date. I just want you to put the month so you'll be aware of what month you're in, because remember, you have monthly expenses. You're getting a $50 deposit each month, and you're using $10 of that $50 on expo markers each month. So that needs to go in and come out each month. So I started mine in August because that's when school starts. And I want you to notice over here that I have the purpose is the beginning balance, and I have debits as negative numbers and credits as positive numbers, and then the balance is what's left. So this is August, so I put my $50 in there for the beginning of August, and my balance as of right now is $50. So I want you to notice that it says I spend $10 each month on markers. So in August, I'm going to spend $10 on markers. And I'm just going to put in expo markers. And I'm buying expo markers, so that means that it's a negative expense. So I'm going to put in $10. So on my paper, let me go down here to ImageMate so I can show you my paper. Because you'll need to be using paper at home. But make sure you're putting your answers in your spreadsheet. So I have my paper, and I started out with $50. And I just took out $10 for expo markers. So that's going to leave me with $40. So my balance is going to be $40 for this part. And I've already set it up to put your dollar sign in. Okay, so that's August, and I see over here that I have 3 more things for August. So again, for my date, I need to put August. I'm going to click here. And my first one says that I bought 68 composition notebooks. So I'm going to put my purpose composition notebooks. Just write what you bought. And it says I spent, so that's going to be a negative number, $6.80. So I don't have a credit, so I'm going to go over here to balance. Now this is where I'm going to go back to my paper. So the last thing I did, my balance was $40. So now I need to subtract $6.80 from that $40. 0 minus 0 is 0. I can't take 8 from 0, so I have to go next door. It's also a 0, so I come over here and I make this a 3. This becomes a 10 and then a 9, and then this becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 3 minus 0 is 3. So my new balance is $33.20. So I'm going to write right here $33.20 in my balance. Okay. My next expense says that I bought a box of mechanical pencils for $7.47. So this is still in August. Oops, I'm typing in the wrong spot. Go back over here to August. And I bought mechanical pencils. And I spent $7.47. And that means it's a negative. So I need to come over here. Go back to my paper. So my last balance, I'm going to write it because I think it's neater if we write it like this and we can actually see what we're doing. And I spent $7.47, so that's a negative. Okay, and then I just do the math. 10 minus 7 is 3. I can't take 4 from 1, so I have to borrow. 11 minus 4 is 7. I can't do that, so I have to borrow again. That makes this a 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. Bring down my 2. So now I'm left with $25.73. So I'm going to put that on my balance. $25.73. Don't forget to put your decimal point in there. Okay, now I look back over here. Hold on, let me put this away so we can see. I come back over here and I see that I bought 10 new pairs of scissors for $19.99. It's still August, so I'm going to put August. I'm going to put scissors. And I spent $19.99 on scissors. That was a good deal. So I'm going to come over here, go back to my paper, and my last balance was $25.73, so I'm just going to write it over here so I can see very well, and I'm subtracting $19.99, and I'm just going to come over here and do the math. So I have to borrow and make that a 6 and make this a 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. I can't do this, so I have to borrow again. 16 minus 9 is 7. Bring your decimal down. I can't do 4 minus 9, so I have to borrow again. 14 minus 9 is 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So I'm left with $5.74. Ooh, I got pretty low that month, didn't I? Okay, that was all of my expenses for August. So now I'm moving on to September. I can't forget though that each month I get a $50 deposit. So I'm going to type in September. Well, I typed it in the wrong place again. Let me click over here. Got ahead of myself. September. And I get a deposit. So I'm just going to write deposit, monthly deposit. And this is not a debit. This is a credit. So I'm going to put it under the plus sign. So it's $50. Okay. And now I come back to my paper. My last balance was $574. This time it's different though. Remember, I was still in the positive $574. So now I'm going to add $50 to $574. And my new balance is positive 55.74. So I'm going to add that to right here. 55.74 is my new balance. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here and I see that in September, I got to remember that one thing. What do I do every month? I buy $10 worth of expo markers. September, expo markers. Remember, if it's a monthly expense, it comes out every single month. So that's $10 right off the top. $10, that's a minus. Come over here and I take my 55.74 and I subtract $10 and I get 45.74 is my new balance. 45.74. Okay, now I look at my September. It says I bought a new pencil sharpener for $36.25. So I'm going to put in September again. Pencil sharpener. I wish pencil sharpeners were that cheap. $36.25. And then you're going to take that away from your last balance. So let me go back to my paper. So my last balance was $45.74 and I just spent $36.25. So that is a negative number. Okay, do the math. 14 minus 5 is 9. 6 minus 2 is 4. Can't do that, so I have to borrow. 15 minus 6 is 9. And I'm left with only $9.49, but I am still in the positive, so that's good. $9.49. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, and it says that I'm buying some Mr. Sketch markers for $11.36. Put in September. Mr. Sketch markers are my favorite. They smell so good. And I'm spending $11.36 here. My last balance was positive $9.49, and now I need to take away $11.36. Oh no. So if I wrote that like we're used to seeing it, this would be positive and this would be negative. And if my signs are different, that means I'm going to subtract. So 1136 minus 949. I need to flip it to make it work right in my head. Okay, so that's 2 and this is 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. Can't do that, so I have to borrow. 12 minus 4 is 8. Can't do that. So I have to borrow. So I am 187 and my largest, I go back to my original, my largest absolute value here is negative. So I'm really in the negative $1.87. All right. Now I remember from my directions over here that each time I go in the negative, that means my bank's going to charge me $10 more. So I'm going to put bank fee, and it is $10. So that is a negative $10 plus negative 187. That's what that would look like if we wrote it like we've been writing it. So my signs are the same, which means I'm going to add. So $10 plus $1.87 equals $11.87, and my largest absolute value is negative. So now I am in the negative $11.87. Oh man, that happened quickly, didn't it? Okay, well, I am done with September and I'm so glad because I am in the hole $11.87. So I'm going to go to October. Remember, every month I get a $50 deposit. I put it in the deposit part. Okay, so I got my deposit and I had negative 1187 and I'm adding positive 50. My signs are different, which means I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to write it up and down so I can see it better. $50 minus 1187. I'm going to have to come all the way over here. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm left with positive 3813. That's good. At least I'm back in the positive. Okay. I think that's enough of an example for you to be able to know how to do your Maddy's debit card. Don't forget that if it's a monthly expense, it comes out every single month. So each month you're going to give her $50 and each month you're going to take that $10 out for gas. So I think this is a great way for you to use your rational numbers. If you need to write it side by side first to think about what you're doing, that's a great idea. And this is absolutely how banking works, except the fees are more than $10. So, we talked about if you're in the red, that means you're in the negative in your bank account. So be very careful. And this sheet right here is what you need to turn in to me, the one that you do with Maddy's debit card. Good luck. I hope you do a great job.